Hello, NBA fans. Daily news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a fan of the Lakers show and I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and give it a like. Executive Rob Pelinka said he will make a bold trade to build a super team for the season. Lauri Markkanen is a phenomenon and the ideal name to form, let's say, the best big three in the NBA. Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Lauri Markkanen together will be terrifying for Western rivals. Therefore, the Lakers would have to offer fan-favorite Austin Reaves and a few picks, including a first-round pick, in the trade. If the Lakers complete this trade, they will certainly be the heavy favorite to win the title and will also have a duo for the future with Doncic and Markkanen, as LeBron approaches retirement. Austin Reaves is important and beloved by the team and fans, but the NBA is a business, and Reaves will be a free agent soon, so it's better to trade him now and bring in star Lauri Markkanen to join Doncic and LeBron. Lauri Markkanen, at 7 feet 1 inch, is much more than a three-point shooter. The former All-Star is a modern stretch 4, a power forward who spreads the floor with his long-range shot, or even a stretch 5, a center with the same characteristics, capable of scoring in a variety of ways, a solid rebounder, and who has shown remarkable defensive improvement. He's quick for his size, has a good arsenal of low-post moves, and, most importantly for the Lakers, is an elite shooter. Last season, Markkanen averaged a spectacular 25.6 points and 8.6 rebounds per game, shooting 39.1% from three. A true find for any franchise. Now, imagine a scenario in which Markkanen fits alongside two of the greatest passers and playmakers in history. Luka Doncic is a triple-double machine, with surreal court vision and the ability to dominate the offense in a singular way. LeBron James, even in the final stretch of his career, remains one of the most intelligent and versatile players in the league, capable of dictating the pace of the game, finding his teammates in prime positions, and scoring when necessary. With these two maestros distributing the ball, Markkanen would find a space to operate that he may never have had before. He would be the ultimate third banana, a player who doesn't need the ball in his hands to be effective but can explode at any moment. For the Lakers, Markkanen's arrival would solve the floor spacing issue once and for all. With LeBron and Luka drawing defense's attention and penetrating the paint, Markkanen's passing lanes would always be open. He would become a constant target for three-pointers, opening up the paint and allowing Doncic and James to operate with more freedom to score or pass to Anthony Davis, who would remain the defensive anchor and a terror in the pick-and-roll. Think of the offensive versatility: pick-and-pop with Markkanen, passes over the top of the defense for easy baskets, or even low-post plays where the Finn could use his size against smaller defenders. The addition of Lauri would bring an element of youth, athleticism, and, above all, consistent shooting that has been a headache for the Lakers in recent years. For the Lakers, this trade would be a definitive all-in. They would be betting all their chips on the championship window with LeBron James and on forming a super team that, with the addition of Luka Doncic, who, in this hypothetical 2025 to 2026 scenario, would already be on the roster, would be a dominant force. Giving up future picks and young talent means the franchise would be aiming for the title immediately and in the years to come, trusting that a trio like LeBron, Luka, and Markkanen would be indomitable. It's the win-now mentality taken to the extreme, and something the Lakers historically don't hesitate to do when a title is within reach. The arrival of Lauri Markkanen would be the icing on the cake for the formation of a roster that would have the potential to be one of the greatest defensive forces in recent league history. If confirmed, this trade would shake the foundations of the Western Conference. The Lakers, already a powerhouse with LeBron and Luka, would become virtually unbeatable on paper. The spacing created by Markkanen would open up opportunities for Luka and LeBron's drives and magical passes, while defensively, Markkanen would add versatility and rim-protecting ability. This move would be a warning to the rest of the league. The Lakers would be building a super team for another run at the ring, and the path to the title would inevitably pass through them. The competition would be brutal, with the Denver Nuggets, Phoenix Suns, Golden State Warriors, if they keep their core, and the Dallas Mavericks themselves, should Luka leave for the Lakers, having to reinvent themselves to compete with this new California powerhouse. The boldness of pursuing a player like the Lakers and Lauri Markkanen together demonstrates the franchise's level of ambition. Beyond the impact on the court, imagine the media buzz. A team with LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Lauri Markkanen would be a global phenomenon. The combination of talent, personalities, and the ability to attract fans around the world would be unprecedented. Broadcast viewership would reach record levels, jersey sales would skyrocket, and Los Angeles would become even more prominently the epicenter of the basketball universe. The Big Three narrative has always been a draw in the NBA, and this modern, international version would be irresistible to both the public and sponsors. That's the beauty of mock trades and rumors in the NBA world. They allow us to dream and visualize scenarios that, while seemingly distant, are not impossible. The league's history is replete with comebacks and super team formations that seemed unlikely. The idea of the Lakers and Lauri Markkanen on the same team would already be sensational, but the addition of Luka Doncic alongside LeBron has taken this speculation to stratospheric heights. In a sport where the search for the next star and the construction of the perfect roster are relentless, the possibility of seeing Lauri Markkanen join LeBron James and Luka Doncic on the Lakers for the 2025 to 2026 season represents the height of ambition. It would be the union of a living legend with two of the greatest talents of the new generation, forming a triple crown capable of rewriting NBA history and ensuring Showtime would be back in full force. Now we can only dream and see if fate, or rather, behind-the-scenes negotiations, will gift us with this true constellation in Los Angeles. Will the Lakers achieve this feat and become the team to beat in the next decade? The future promises strong emotions. Lakers' next blockbuster trade will require Rob Pelinka to accept crushing reality. A blockbuster trade will require the Lakers to give up LeBron James or Austin Reaves, and there's no way around it. If the Los Angeles Lakers intend to complete another blockbuster trade, it's likely going to cost them either LeBron James or Austin Reaves. It's the unfortunate reality hanging over Los Angeles's head as it searches for ways to follow up on the landscape-altering move for Luka Doncic. With limited resources and potential second-apron penalties to consider, however, the Lakers will find it challenging to capture lightning in a bottle twice in such a short period of time. The Lakers have built 17 championship teams by making blockbuster moves at a rate to which no other franchise can compare. They've acquired the likes of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Anthony Davis, Pau Gasol, LeBron James, and Shaquille O'Neal, each of whom helped guide Los Angeles to at least one title. The latest in a long line of blockbuster moves was the trade for Doncic, a monumental acquisition that it may struggle to build upon if the goal is finding another star. It's admittedly difficult to make this case after Los Angeles landed Doncic against all odds, but context is crucial. The deal for Doncic was one of the most shocking in NBA history, with many arguing that the Dallas Mavericks accepted an offer they never should have even considered. Even still, it cost the Lakers a 5-time All-NBA and 5-time All-Defense honoree and future Hall of Fame inductee Anthony Davis, a possible sign of things to come. Lakers can't trade for a star without losing LeBron or Austin Reaves. One of the manners in which teams have learned to circumvent the need for losing top-tier talent in a trade for a star-caliber player has been the inclusion of a surplus of draft assets. The Orlando Magic, for instance, gave up 4 first-round draft picks and a pick swap for Desmond Bane earlier this summer. The outgoing players were Cole Anthony and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who are by no means below-average contributors, but fall below the line that equates to a star-caliber distinction. Unfortunately, the Lakers lack the assets to complete a trade of that nature. Los Angeles has already traded its 2027 and 2029 first-round selections, meaning it can't part with its 2026, 2028, or 2030 picks due to the Stepien rule that prevents teams from operating without first-rounders in consecutive years. That leaves just its 2031 first-round draft pick as a potentially valued draft asset, and it doesn't even have a second-round selection until 2032 to help sweeten the pot. Pick swaps could be provided to up the ante, but even then, few teams will be looking to ship out a star for such an underwhelming return knowing what the new market is. Aiming higher than a Bane or a Mikal Bridges would undoubtedly raise the price accordingly. To make matters worse, the Lakers' only contracts worth more than $12 million belong to Doncic, James, Rui Hachimura, and Reaves, and all but Doncic will be eligible for unrestricted free agency in 2026. With this in mind, the Lakers' best offer will effectively come out to an expiring contract and a single first-round draft pick. There are ways to convince a team to take a chance on such a deal, but that will require the incoming talent being prolific enough to justify the risk involved in such a deal. Unfortunately for the Lakers, and with all due respect to Hachimura, the end result is a likely choice between trading James or Reaves to get a deal over the finish line for a new Doncic co-star. Lakers already have a perfect candidate to monitor for the trade deadline. Haywood Highsmith is guaranteed to be available at the 2026 NBA trade deadline. All of the match day. The Miami Heat puzzlingly decided to move on from Haywood Highsmith earlier in the offseason, sending him on his merry way to the Brooklyn Nets. Upon his acquisition, there was an immediate expectation that Highsmith and the Nets would not be a long-term fit. That expectation remains the same today. Brian Lewis of the New York Post made it abundantly clear that the recently acquired forward is unlikely to remain with the Nets after the deadline in early February. Lewis wrote, "It's also almost impossible to see a world where he's in Brooklyn past the trade deadline, much less next summer. Some contender will surely be looking to add in February." A wing defender on a $5.6 million expiring deal could look pretty good. The contender in question here could very easily be the Los Angeles Lakers. Rob Pelinka's desire to add a two-way wing has been made abundantly clear, with reports from Mark Stein and Dan Woik confirming the matter. Haywood Highsmith fits exact mold of trade target Lakers are hunting. Trading Highsmith away for merely a protected second-round pick was a head-scratching decision. The mold of player that the former Heat forward is fits any team looking to make a championship push. Granted, Miami is not exactly in that position. They are stuck in the middle of the Eastern Conference. The Heat are not quite good enough to compete for a championship, but not really bad enough to bottom out and tank for the lottery. Their 2025-26 season should be more of the same. They will loom as a team that will not be an easy matchup on any given night, but the expectations for what they can accomplish will be modest, at best. The Lakers, on the other hand, want to capitalize on having two of the NBA's top talents. The duo of Luka Doncic and LeBron James gives any team they are a part of a fair crack at winning a championship, with the right support. Highsmith would qualify as that type of help. The former Heat forward averaged 6.5 points, 3.4 rebounds, 0.9 steals, and 0.5 blocks in 24.6 minutes per game during the 2024-25 season. Highsmith shot 45.8% from the field and 38.2% from beyond the arc, starting 42 games for Miami. Based on what it took for the Nets to acquire him, it should not cost too much to secure the services of the 28-year-old at the NBA trade deadline. Granted, there may be more competition for Highsmith then, leading to a slight uptick in the price. Still, it should be one worth paying for a Lakers team looking to fill holes on the roster. The opportunity to land a quality role player and boost the rotation should not be overlooked. Luka Doncic is the only player to stake claim to dethroning Nikola Jokic. The Los Angeles Lakers superstar can emerge as the best player in the world this season. Nikola Jokic has comfortably held the crown of the best player in the world for at least 5 seasons in a row to this point. As the new 2025-26 NBA season approaches, it is finally time for the Denver Nuggets superstar to check for footsteps behind him. Luka Doncic is coming to challenge him. ESPN recently conducted an off-season survey to cover many topics, including best and worst summer deals, LeBron James' future, plus more. One of the notable things that stuck out was the conversation of who the best player in the world was. Jokic received a staggering 19 out of 20 possible votes for that distinction. There was one single player who drew consideration among the decision-makers. That was Doncic. Tim Bontemps pointed out, only a stray one for Doncic separated Jokic from becoming the first unanimous selection for this honor across the 7 years the survey has been conducted. Luka Doncic's ascent up the NBA ladder could take him right to the top. There is no doubt the lone voter to selected Doncic must have been significantly influenced by how ridiculous the Los Angeles Lakers superstar looked when representing Slovenia at Eurobasket 2025. the Slovenian savant carried his national team throughout the competition. Doncic finished the tournament averaging 34.7 points, 8.6 rebounds, 7.1 assists, and 2.7 steals in only 33.3 minutes per game. Unfortunately for him, that was only good enough to get Slovenia as far as the quarterfinals, losing to the eventual Eurobasket winners, Germany. Still, Doncic made a clear impression at the competition. His national team would have been helpless without him. The superstar point guard was involved in 54.2% of Slovenia's points. That number towered over his peers. Luka scored or assisted on 54% of Slovenia's points. How much of that will carry over to the Lakers in 2025-26? The hopes of those in Los Angeles will be that Doncic can have a similar impact, unless their rooting interest falls with the little brother franchise. If Doncic can provide the type of basketball brilliance to bring the Lakers to comfortably securing a top 3 seed in the Western Conference, there is no doubt MVP will be on the table for him. With that comes the conversation of whether Jokic still sits above all others in player rankings. Doncic came close to really fueling that discussion point in 2024 after a brilliant run to the NBA Finals with the Dallas Mavericks. However, a loss on basketball's biggest stage halted that momentum. If the Lakers surprise the NBA and force their way out of a grueling Western Conference to have a chance at a championship, Luka's argument will have some serious legs to stand on. That is especially true if that follows a regular season MVP. One East executive told ESPN of Jokic, as long as he's walking and breathing, it should be him. However, the Lakers superstar has every opportunity to dispel that notion in 2025-26. A renewed focus on his body, elevated defensive play, and the success that should follow will make this conversation one worth debating once more. Byron Scott says LeBron needs another title to have a chance at a Lakers statue. Few people are more familiar with the inherent championship expectations that come with playing for the Los Angeles Lakers than former guard Byron Scott. Scott spent the vast majority of his 14-year NBA career with the iconic organization and won 3 titles as a Laker as well. He said that current Lakers star forward LeBron James doesn't deserve a statue outside Crypto.com arena unless he helps the organization win another championship. James led the Lakers to a title in 2020, but Los Angeles hasn't advanced past the Western Conference Finals since then. No, Scott said. No statue. One championship in 6-7 years. I don't know how many years he's been in LA right now, but I think if he gets another one then he has a chance. But right now, if you look at the players that have statues in front of the Crypto.com, these are long-lifers. They've been with the Lakers for almost their entire career, and they've had multiple championships. I think the only one that didn't is probably Jerry West. But other than that, Jerry West spent his entire career with the Los Angeles Lakers, and he's the logo for a reason. So, right now at this particular point, and I'm a big LeBron James fan for what he's been able to do on and off the court, but statue? No. It's possible that the coming campaign will be James' swan song in a Lakers uniform and thus his last chance to win the franchise another championship. James will get paid more than $52 million in the 2025-26 season, but he is on track to hit unrestricted free agency in the summer of 2026. If the coming season goes on to be James' final act as a Laker, hopefully he can stay out of harm's way during the team's pursuit of the 2026 title. 3 of James' first 4 seasons in Los Angeles were marred by injuries, as he suited up in more than 56 contests in only one of those campaigns. But on the bright side, he did appear in 70 of the Lakers' 82 games in the 2024-25 season. The Lakers don't exactly stand out as clear favorites to represent the Western Conference in the 2026 NBA Finals heading into the new campaign, but they look improved on paper compared to last season. Los Angeles lost forward Dorian Finney-Smith to the Houston Rockets in free agency, but it added the likes of big man DeAndre Ayton, guard Marcus Smart and forward Jake LaRavia. A title for James with the Lakers next year would not only mark his second championship with the organization, but it would also be the 5th ring of his pro career. He's won at least one title with 3 different teams already, as he captured one championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers back in 2016 and two with the Miami Heat as well. As always, LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers found themselves at the center of the NBA rumor mill this summer, although after months of trade speculation, it seems clear that James will spend his 23rd season in Los Angeles. But what about after that? James is coming off his 21st All-Star season, having averaged 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists. While Luka Doncic may have passed him as the face of the Lakers franchise, James is still an elite player. Father Time could catch up with him at any moment, although, for now, he is playing at a high level and even into his 40s, retirement seems like a distant possibility. James' most likely landing spots have been revealed. After the 2025-26 season, James will be an unrestricted free agent. The Lakers, assuming they re-sign Austin Reaves to $30 or $35 million per year, will still have plenty of cash to throw James' way, although a max deal from Los Angeles seems far-fetched, even if every player and team option is declined. Any competitive team, however, is in a similar boat to the Lakers, and committing well over $50 million to a player who will turn 42 halfway through that contract simply doesn't seem likely. According to a panel of ESPN experts and writers, 7 of the 20 surveyed think James will re-sign with the Lakers, more than any other option. 5 think he will retire after this season, and 4 think he will end his career where it started, with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Between Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and Maxi Kleber's impending free agencies, the Lakers can offer James a reasonable deal, although finding 3 and D wings to surround Reaves and Doncic might be more appealing than retaining James, although it remains the most likely scenario.